Hello, this is Miho from Canada. How are you guys doing? I hope your mental, physical health are good and fit. So today I'm going to talk about what's the marriage? What is the couple? Why we're together? Why we want to be together? So some of the listeners ask me this, so I'm going to talk about this topic. So first of all, the couple, the married couple or just being together couple, they are total stranger to start with. So you would not be able to understand 100% of this person because you don't even know who you are sometimes 100%. So it's not possible. It's not easy to say that you can understand other people who is totally stranger, right? But we do have this chemical connection or something that really attracts each other. So we start to, pull each other and start sharing the time together and experience a lot of things. And all of a sudden you start living together and that leads to the marriage. But it has so many different styles right now. In olden days, maybe in a cultural setting, that marriage is something not about you individual. It's about the families get together and get stronger. So some of the cultures, the person you married to already been decided before you even born, right? Because the idea of marriage is not about you. It's getting the family is strong, family name strong. So the idea of marriage is getting so much different, and variety is limited. There's so many varieties, right? But fundamentally that we are total strangers to start. We have different background, different thought, different ideas, and different habits. And all of a sudden, you share all that, right? So you need to have this respect for each other, and at the beginning it's important to discuss what's the most important things between you guys, between us, for instance, that what's the priority, what's the most important things. If this didn't happen, there's no meaning to be together. That kind of priority, right? It could be respect to each other, it could be honesty, you don't lie, each other, do something, not telling, or I don't know, something that, or that maybe the spending of time together as a family could be very important to some people. So discuss among each other and set what's the important priority. And when you have that clear, it really saves you later on when you start arguing, because even though you guys are so great in loving each other, we might get into the arguments because we are different. We have wants and needs or the moods, right? So as long as you have the priorities set clear between you guys, it will heal itself, because it goes back to that priority number one. As long as you have to respect each other or honesty each other, you can keep going, right? And getting in an argument, it's just like a heated up communication that you wanted to express, what you're thinking. And it varies depending on where you are at your life, because your interest has changed or your pace of the growth could change as well, right? So, and then I really think it's important to spend a lot of time together before you really decided to live like as a married couple, because you want to know how you guys deal each other under the pressure. For instance, like you're spending 24/7 for 2 weeks solid in a confined space in a car, for instance, and you might get into the car trouble, or you might be in a bad mood, or something happened and you want to know how to deal with it. And that's the life, right? That's what start happening when you start living together. So it's good to check each other how you do it, like honestly. When you're dating, it's only a couple of hours a day, once in a while, so you could kind of pretend to be the best, face. But when you're in a bad mood, or it could be like really tired, that happens all the time, and then like you want to know, how each other deal with that, or you want to know the habits that each other have. Maybe some of them just can't stand, certain habits, right? And you wouldn't know until you spend a lot of time together. And also, I find it's important that being independent individual, meaning that you fulfill yourself personally. So those two people are together because they just wanted to spend the time together and share, the lifetime, doing, spending time together. And that's the happy and a double happiness, right? But if you're very dependent, like you're always looking for somebody to make you feel good or make you happy, and you always relied on somebody else or other, forces to make you happy, and you use as a marriage as a medium. You think like, oh, this marriage will make me happy. This person will, feel my needs. And when something happens, because they're not fulfilled, usually you attract a person like you, unfulfilled. So it's a double unhappiness, and it will lead you to the very disastrous scene later on. So it's good to always keep up yourself, to live yourself, to improve, enhance your quality or personality, and that itself really attracts a lot of respects, from other people or the partner as well. And even though you are getting into the arguments, but as long as you're independent person, like financially, also personally, like you can just support yourself, mentally, and you can support yourself financially, and that's a good good starter, because it really saves a lot of agony later on. So it's good to really work on yourself, self-development, and when you keep raising your conscious level, and then you'll start attracting those just like you, so that it really pays off to really invest in yourself, to make yourself a better person, right? And if you're already in a relationship, you can always start from there too, that you discuss among each other, or make it clear again that, what's the most important, what's the priority. If this doesn't exist, maybe there's no meaning being together, that sort of priority. And even as long as you have that, it's good recovery after the heated arguments, right? Because you go through a lot of things, because that's two strangers are living under the same roof, so that you need to give and take. And if you don't want to do that, you don't need to live together, right? You can be on your own and do whatever you like, but now you're sharing, so you have to learn to give, and take, and respect each other, and respect each other's space, and respect about, their likes and dislikes, because they're a stranger to start with, right? So even though you don't know 100% of yourself, you cannot really know what other people are thinking 100% at a time. So that's okay. You learn as you go, and often what you're lacking of in a personality, the partner will feel it. Like, for instance, if you're so hyper and, talk like so fast, and then the partner could be very calm and very quiet person, so it balances out. Or one person is super neat and tidy and organized, and the other is totally scattered, like not neat person, and it's kind of balances out too. It's kind of funny. That's how you attract each other. It's like a magnet, plus and minus attracts, right? And that's how we learn to have a different perspective of the personality, I guess. And when you go through a marriage, some people don't get married, just be single, and that's happy life too. So it doesn't mean because you got married to a happy life. Marrying is something that being together, meaning that you learn from each other, and you might have family too, and then you share your life together and a time together, and it's a teamwork as a friend, or somebody to talk to and give your love to, and respect and enjoy the company. That's a comfort zone, and it really grows you to be somebody else that you love. And it will change because you're always growing as well. So I think it's good to have what's the most important things in a priority in between you guys, so that you can always come back to that basic idea of being together. And it's a different ways And also, if you're wondering if this person is the one, I like to have this analogy that, or example, that you go into, okay, so two of you were left in a deserted island where there's nothing, literally no clothing, no hair, makeup, no shower, bath, so you look whatever it could be. And so you have no material things and no family backups, no status, no education, no one is praising you for that, and there's no money that you have. And if everything is stripped away from that person, totally butt naked, you take the leaves to cover whatever you wanted to cover, that's it. Like you have no jewelry, nothing. And you ask yourself, do I really want to still be this person and spend a time with? And you might think yes, or you might think, I like the money. I like the way he looks or she looks. Like when you are in a deserted island, you have no makeup to put on or no hairdo to do, no gorgeous, outlook or material things, no money. You gotta scrap whatever you have on this island. Still, do you want to spend a time with this person? So that's a good question to ask yourself. And if the answer is yes, yes. If answer is no, maybe not for you or for now. So that's another thing to think about. But the marriage is just one way of living, and there are people who live single and are very happy, and that's how they decided to live. That's totally fine too. But if you are meant to live with somebody, getting married, that's another thing too, and you learn so much from being together as well. And if you're a person who just done it before, that's it. And that's that lesson that they get from that, being together time. So it's all varies, and I think that fundamentally it's good to grow yourself, to be independent, happy person. And then independent, happy person will attract another independent, happy person and start sharing the time together. That will be their happy, double happiness. Okay, so hope this helped, and see you in the next video. Bye.